oh, that's the clone version of him. That's not my Jim. We'll be like, show us your belly button. Get your belly button out. And then they have to show it. And if it's his belly button there, we'll go, all right, fair, that's Jim Carrey. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Finish Podcast. We're your hosts, Hayley and Abi, and in today's episode, we're going to be exploring why the world is so obsessed with Britney Spears.
It's Britney, bitch.
We're going to be talking about Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber's secret baby.
I mean, I don't think anybody truly actually cares.
And finally, the big question, what has happened to Jim Carrey? Where is he? Who is this imposter? And why does the world think that he has been cloned?
Good question, Aguado.
And that's the part that I'm most looking forward to because I have been obsessed, Hayley. I think we both have. Like, what did we spend so much of our time in Rotterdam doing?
The thing, we were literally sat there, a week ago today, and we were watching the videos and we were challenging each other's thinking, trying to get to the bottom of it. And I think it's just right that we actually talk about it properly now that we've had some time to go away and do our individual research.
So we said in this episode that we were going to be talking about why on earth the world is so obsessed with Britney Spears. Now, Hayley, have you been aware of the news that's happened lately with Britney?
I have. So if it's the news that you're referring to, is it around that she's been arrested for driving under the influence? So we were arrested for a DUI.
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen that. I am going to start by saying I'm not a massive celebrity fan, or I'm not the kind of person that follows celebrities. I kind of wish that they could just have their own private lives. I've never been obsessed with them. But for some reason, my social media is going absolutely insane. It's all celebrity focused. So a lot of it has been focused on Jim Carrey and Britney Spears over the last week or so. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to know about these people. Let them live their lives. Yeah, it's been there thrown in my face. So I imagine that's like that for most people. And of course, if you're a person that is into that stuff, it's going to be even more intense for you because your algorithm is going to pick up on that.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say the reason why that's probably been thrown in your face so much is because we were talking about Jim Carrey so much. And so your algorithm has gone, oh, what's that? What's that? You want some celebrity gossip? Well, girl, we got you covered. And then suddenly, obviously, Britney Spears thing is a relatively big thing in the celebrity gossip world. And so it makes sense that that's just been flung at you. But no, you're absolutely right. So I'm in agreement with Hayley. I'm not exactly one of these people that lives for celebrity drama because rather than me thinking they need to just live their own lives, it's more for the fact that I just don't give two shits about celebrities, to be honest with you, because they just make me feel sad about my life. So sometimes I have a little guilty pleasure where I will, I don't know, maybe on YouTube, it's late at night, no one's around, check, no one's listening, only my algorithm, and I will look up some celebrity gossip and I'll find out what's been going on. And I'll sit there sniggering under my duvet so-and-so's been caught out for this, eat shit. But the thing with Britney Spears is I've always loved Britney Spears, ever since I was a youngster. Yeah. So Britney, for both of us, I think, was this staple in pop culture in the 90s for most people, to be honest, who are millennials. And I think given the fact that she has had so many difficulties in her life and there's all sorts of conspiracies and things going on, it does have me slightly more invested. And I think for me, and I don't know about you, but for me, it's more what this then means for Britney, given the conservatorship that she was under. And there is, and I don't know if you've heard, Hayley, a conspiracy theory, shock. Bloody humans are so predictable. There's a conspiracy theory that says that this was all some made-up attempt for her family and the people that are in her life to get her back under a conservatorship.
Leave Britney alone!
Oh, you see, I haven't heard that. That's brand new to me. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Absolutely not surprised that people would think that. Whereas I'm going to completely flip the narrative and go, it doesn't surprise me that she would drink under the influence anyway, given everything that she's been through. It seems like absolutely normal, not excusable, but normal trauma response behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it also wouldn't surprise me if it were her family doing that.
If you think about how many celebrities get arrested, pulled over under difficulties of some kind because they've been drink driving, there's quite a lot. I think a lot of population do it. They should not, absolutely should not, no excuses whatsoever. But I think so many celebrities do it. But for some reason, because it's Britney Spears, it's got the world kind of going, wow, this is a bit suspicious, isn't it? Like as if she is immune from doing these really stupid things that quite a lot of other celebrities actually do. And yeah, you're absolutely right. She is probably someone that is highly susceptible to maybe drinking a little bit, making some bad decisions, which is completely understandable given like the life that she had.
Yeah.
So I've just got a couple of articles just for anybody who hasn't been aware of what's happened with Britney Spears. I'm making it sound like she's died. She hasn't.
No.
So she was, I think it was like a few days ago, she was arrested in California because there was suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Apparently, she was reported to be driving her BMW erratically at a high rate of speed on a motorway. She showed signs of impairment and submitted to a series of field sobriety tests after she was pulled over. She was released, I think, the next day, but she is due to go into court. She's also, apparently, she's deleted her Instagram account. So she kind of, once like her conservative thing finished in, I think it was 2021, she kind of returned to social media properly and she was doing all her dance videos and she was just trying to be like, get herself a bit more out there again. But she's now since deleted her Instagram account since the news of the arrest broke. So she's, I'm going to guess it's probably, she was found out, she was discovered. But equally, so just to fuel the fire a little bit with the conspiracy theories, she recently sold all of the rights to her music. Did you know that?
I did, yes. Wasn't it like 200 million? Is that correct?
Something like that. Big numbers.
200 million. Yeah. So it was last month. And I think that was quite a shock to people. And I've seen that a lot of people think that she undersold it. So could have actually earned more money than she actually did. So people think that that was quite erratic behavior and they're questioning, why would you do that after all these years? Other people are saying she doesn't want to have anything to do with the music industry anymore. She's kind of been really vocal about wanting out, given all the trauma that that's caused her. She's not interested in performing. So for her, it could be an absolute release. It's a way of taking what she can and trying to move on with her life. Yeah, I don't think people let her do that because people are so obsessed with her, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. And then I think because of like the timing of that and the fact that then this has now happened, it's almost like, I don't know how it works because she would have signed away the rights to it, but it's almost like people don't need Britney Spears anymore. So now it's like all of those big people that have been kind of like, this is the conspiracy guys, pulling the strings for her can now kind of dispose of her and be like, right, let's get her out of the picture. Let's get her, not arrested as such, but like that's kind of along the lines of the conspiracy theory is, they got the music, they got the rights. G now is void of all of this. But like I've been, because this is obviously a really reliable source of news, Reddit. I've been looking on Reddit and people have said like this hasn't been the first time. It's just not been documented as big as this arrest. But she has been like pulled over before. She's been seen recklessly driving. She's been seen in like bad states. Like we've all been there. We're being seen on a night out, being a bit too drunk and maybe falling over and smacking your head on a lamppost. Not mentioning any names, me. But like, I think the fact that she's been seen driving recklessly quite a few times. So people have basically been like, well, this was always coming. Like, it's about time she actually got arrested for this and actually got like caught. So maybe it is just a case of Britney Spears was drunk. She drove a car recklessly, happened one too many times. And so she's been arrested and it's now actually been taking official, like, which is a good thing. This is what I want. This is so bad, but I can't help but laugh. But someone in the Reddit forum has put a comment going, I guess she's not that innocent. And I think it's reference to her song that goes, not that innocent.
That's actually brilliant. And do you know what? On that note of her not being that innocent, that's what I've been reading. So I kind of look very much at the psychology side of things. And I noticed that we've got kind of different groups of people that are really interested in her. And we've got the group of people that are really interested in like the potential conspiracies and who's pulling the strings and they're trying to get rid of her and all of that kind of stuff. You've then got other people that are kind of very aware of everything she's been through and really empathetic towards her and obviously very kind of want to make sure that she's okay, very interested in checking that she's okay, that she's well. And obviously that's lovely. You've then got other people that are just, I think, a bit fed up. They're like, we're totally done now. Like, we understand she's been through a lot, but do you know what? Start taking accountability. You are 44 years old. You are a human just like the rest of us. Why should you be excused of some of the things that you've done? Take accountability. I think definitely I'm sitting with the accountability people. I think she is a human just like the rest of us. You've been through a lot and I'm so sorry and it should not have happened to you. And I wish that hadn't have happened. But ultimately, if you have been drink or drug driving, suck it up, deal with it. I guess my question to Britney, if ever she's listening, Britney, we love you, by the way. But with all of that money, especially the 200 million odd that you've just gained from selling all of your music, why didn't you get a taxi, love? Why didn't you get a taxi?
An Uber. Or personal
Get an Uber.
driver.
Private driver. Do yourself a favour. We want you to stay in this wonderful world. We love you. Get a fucking Uber or get yourself a private driver. Do not drive.
It's just all a little bit toxic, isn't it? Oops, I did it again. No, we well wishes for Britney. If this is like a part of like a downhill spiral or anything like that, then obviously we wish her all the love in the world.
All the love.
But okay, so again, as much as humans love conspiracies, let's move on to our next conspiracy. I know a little bit less about this one. I think you actually sent me this one or got me invested in this one anyway, Hayley, which is about Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez have a secret baby.
Stop, you're making me blush, dude.
So the theory is, the conspiracy theory, make it very, it's very clear that it's a conspiracy theory. The theory is claiming that Selena Gomez is a clone. These fucking clones,
I have heard
everybody.
this. Yes, I've heard this.
Or that she and Justin Bieber had a secret baby, and this has now just gone absolutely crazy, apparently, on social media. There is no credible evidence for any of this, but then there never is for these bloody conspiracy theories. And does it stop people from believing them? No, they do not. They will comment on a picture of Selena Gomez and they'll go, that's not Selena. That's not Selena. And it's as if they've like spent loads of time with Selena Gomez in the living room, like spent Christmases with her or something. They'll go, that's not Selena. I can tell about her eyes. I can tell about her nose. That's not Selena. So basically, some social media users have suggested Selena Gomez was replaced by a clone, pointing to the changes in her appearance compared to her like 2015 version of her. What do you think, Hayley, realistically?
Genuine question to the public. Do you not think that celebrities age? Do you expect a woman to look the same in 2015 to 2026?
It's 11-year difference.
That's 11 years difference. It blows my mind that people expect celebrities to look the same forever. So I don't believe that she's been cloned, and I don't believe that there's a secret baby. I don't even want to discuss it. I'm outright no, that's not happened. But yeah, I think it frustrates me because again, we are talking here about a woman who is constantly being judged for her appearance and criticised, and people are constantly looking at any slight subtleties or changes to the way that she looks. And that woman has been through a lot, like most of us. Okay, and I don't want to kind of make her exceptional just because she's a celebrity. But when you are in the public eye, you've obviously got that additional pressure. People constantly looking at you, the media fueling so many things that are really unhelpful.
Yeah.
Stop fucking commenting on women's bodies, as I've said before.
I feel like it just doesn't hit home, does it, when people do it? It just doesn't hit home. We can shout it from the rooftop. Stop fucking commenting. And then they try and hide it under it being a conspiracy theory because then, it's a bit more interesting. And it's like, just accept the fact that you cannot stand somebody who you find attractive changing their appearance because they've aged or anything. But actually something that you probably don't know, Hayley, is that Selena Gomez has something called lupus.
I do know.
You do?
Yeah, I do know. So the medication can impact her weight, for example. So there have been times when she's gained a little bit of weight or kind of her face has appeared a bit more round and people go absolutely wild over that. And that's what makes me so cross. I'm like, leave the woman alone. Jesus.
It's awful as well. It's an autoimmune disease. And it's like, I just feel like so many people don't really know about it. Like with most diseases, to be honest, any autoimmune disease, any condition, unless it's like a really obvious thing to people will just completely disregard it as like being linked. Yeah. So she's come forward herself and she has said like, I have lupus. I have all sorts of medication. It does all sorts of things to my body, which is absolutely, completely understandable and acknowledged. Yet people just don't seem to have any of it. And actually, rather than believing that she has a medical condition that actually, and also naturally aging, they would rather believe that she has been cloned. Yeah. And that's much more rational, isn't it? That's the more obvious answer. Gosh, she's obviously a clone.
That is funny.
It almost forms, I mean, we'll get onto this a little bit later, but they become part of this community of people that all believe the same thing. And they genuinely believe that they see the truth that nobody else sees. That they've got this kind of, it's a superior complex, essentially. And I'm like, do you know what? Just leave the woman alone. She doesn't give two shits about you. She doesn't know your name. Just let her be.
I know.
So,
She's
lots
always...
of love to Selena. Bless her heart.
She's always popping up as well. And I think if it's like anything to do with Justin Bieber, anything to do with Benny Blanco, her husband, she then gets pulled into everything. And it's literally just a normal girl who was thrown into popularity when she was young because of Disney. She is
Yeah.
aging like everybody else. And might I say, she's aging beautifully. Even
Because
if she has had work done, like who cares? She looks great. She looks
she's a
fantastic.
stunner. She is an absolute stunner. Again, I can't judge because I, obviously don't know her personally. But from what I've seen, what a sweetheart she comes across.
Yeah.
She is like a normal human being who's been through a lot, who's been put in the, into the public space, constantly criticized. People just don't let her be. And yet she still comes across to me as just a really nice human being.
I don't think she's ever done anything that's like caused any particular drama. So she's just, I don't know, as far as like celebrities go, like, God, leave the girl alone. If she wants to do some fucking like Botox or whatever, then fucking let her. Everybody else is doing it. Why can't she do it?
Yeah.
Why has she got to be accused of being a bloody clone?
If people stopped commenting on her body and stopped making comments, the social media stopped fueling things, and maybe she wouldn't feel like she needed to do things. If she is, I'm not even claiming she is. If she is, who gives a shit? It's her life.
It's my life. It's now whatever. The second part to the Selena Gomez conspiracy theory is this idea that there's a secret baby out there in the world. And it gets even more ridiculous, Hayley, because it's apparently this is like a really long-standing like conspiracy theory about their secret baby. Where do they get this shit from? I honestly don't know. So when I've been looking into it, I don't actually know where this started. But it gets ridiculous because not only is there apparently a secret baby out there in the world, which is Selena Gomez's and Justin Bieber's, apparently the child was then later handed over to the Kardashians.
What?
What?
You can't make this shit up. Well, clearly you can because it's clearly made up. But like, what? Where did people get this? Did someone just randomly just get drunk in a bar one time and just randomly say this thing? Someone's then overheard it and then told their friends, and now like celebrity gossip has just like taken hold of it, and it's now like people must be like adding things to it, like Chinese fucking whispers.
I'm speechless. That's blown my mind. So they've had a secret baby apparently, and somehow that baby has ended up with the Kardashians of all people. How did that happen? What's the theory around that? Did Justin and Selena get drunk whilst they were with the Kardashians one night and then just sign a contract that said you can have our secret baby? Like, what the fuck? Like, do people not have better things to do with their lives than to make shit like this up?
Honestly, have no idea where it come from. I don't know. It's basically circulating on TikTok, and people have been like analyzing videos that have been circulating, basically like reports and things that have happened. I think celebrity sightings, archived articles. People have somehow put 2 and 2 together and got boiled eggs because they've now decided that Kardashians have the secret baby of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Do people not have anything better to do with their lives? Have our lives become so mundane that that's entertainment now? I have no clue. But it won't be long. When you first sent me that, I thought it was going to be a case of the Selena Gomez being cloned and the secret baby being linked. And I thought it was going to be a case of, has Selena Gomez been cloned? Did they have a secret baby that was the clone? It's somehow magically aged up, and they've now replaced Selena Gomez with the baby Selena Gomez that's a clone version of her. And I thought that's where it's going to go. And I thought at the time, oh, that's just fucking ridiculous. But actually, listening to and reading all about this stuff, I would not be surprised if that's what comes out next year, that this secret baby has now grown up to replace Selena Gomez.
Well, that's so. We're going to move on to Jim in a little while, but this whole kind of cloning thing that's floating around the internet, I think people believe that celebrities are cloned. And then the question that I always ask is, so what do you think, that we are cloning grown adults? We're literally just, cloning, and they are just able to fully function like an adult and do everything exactly the same as a grown adult. Like, no, even if we could clone, that's not how it would work. It's absolutely wild, isn't it?
That's exactly the same thoughts that I was thinking, like with the, like we can lead this on to Jim Carrey, but like with this whole idea of these random celebrities, like Avril Lavigne is another one, guys. We all know Avril Lavigne is like probably the #1 clone theory out there. How? Like, if cloning, like the cloning has only just started becoming a thing with animals, but it has to be like DNA that's then they're born with the exact DNA to then make them like basically like a later born twin. You can't just randomly pop something into a microwave and then out pops a 40-year-old male clone version.
I imagine like a laser, like in a big laboratory, all the little laser things come out, and then you are just growing an adult human. Of course, we've seen things like that in the movies, haven't we? I think that's where people kind of imagine it from, whereas actually the evidence out there, the kind of limited evidence on cloning that has been done, not with humans, by the way, guys, is that you would replicate kind of a baby, a brand new version, and that thing then needs to grow and learn, and it's not even going to be exactly the same human. They're just going to have the same DNA. I would do that. I mean, if I could clone myself, I absolutely would. We need another Hayley in this world. We need another Abi in this world.
I mean, I disagree, but the reason I was thinking, when you were like, yeah, I would like to have a clone of that. And I was like, yeah, I would love to have a clone of myself, because then I can send the clone to work. I can do the fun stuff, or the clone can make the awkward telephone calls. I can do the fun stuff. The clone can do all of the sex stuff when I've got a headache, or I'm feeling bloated, or I feel fat, or I feel ugly, or I'm just not really in the mood. They can do all of that stuff. I can do the fun stuff. But then here's you being like, because yeah, we need another Hayley and we need another Abi. And I'm like, okay.
You have those feelings. That's fine. They're valid. Okay, fine. We'll clone each other, and then we can have us doing the fun stuff. We can both do that together, and then we can get the other two. As long as our clones don't decide to do the podcast and then fuck it up for us.
Could you imagine if they did better?
Do you know what? That's fine. They can do it. It's a lot of work.
No, this is the dream, Hayley. No, we put our blood, sweat and tears into it. We just need them to do the other work so we can do everything 24/7.
We could do it as a 4.
Oh my God, we could have a foursome podcast session. I mean, obviously.
Right, moving on from
I have
that.
all sorts of thoughts in my head now. Maybe this clone idea isn't so bad. I'm down with that.
Jim Carrey.
Jim fucking
Moving
Carrey.
What do you want?
Jim fucking Carrey.
Can
What
I just
has
stop?
happened? Yeah, go.
First of all, no. First of all, what a legend. I just have to say that. Jim, I'm going to say that as a child, you freaked me the fuck out. I did not like you. I did not like your movies. And it's only been in recent years that I have started to appreciate your work of art. I'm just going to say thank you. And this whole thing about him being cloned has been probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me over the last week, whilst I've been feeling depressed after leaving you. What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Oh, my thoughts. Okay, so I think most people who are listening to this will probably be like, well, given Abi's personality and what we know of Abi, she probably is well down for this whole fucking cloning situation. I'm going to probably shock everyone right now. And lovely Jim Carrey, I believe it is actually him. I think that's him. I think he has just stepped away from the limelight for quite like enough time that he has just mellowed out a little bit. I think he's had a little bit of work done, and that's absolutely fine. And I think that it is him. It was him in that interview. It's been him this whole time, and I don't believe there is anything more to it. And I'm kind of disappointed by that. I want to believe that this is like a big ruse that Jim Carrey himself has done, and it's been the long game, because he's always gone on about like Hollywood and how fucked up it is, and like how he hates like surgeries and like Botox and facelifts, things like that. I hoped that maybe that was all part of a big, massive, long-term thing where it gets to this point where he's actually like hired an actor to play him, or he's wearing some sort of mask thing, and he's going to later be like, gotcha!
You know something? You're right.
And it was all like this big, massive prank. I really want to believe that. But actually, I think like real like pinch of it is I think it was him, guys. I think that is Jim Carrey. It's just what he looks like now.
I'm with you. So when we were in Rotterdam, I remember we sat there together, didn't we? And we were looking at the photos. We were going, is this Jim? I think from the get-go, neither of us believe in the clone conspiracy theory. It won't even enter my brain as an option. So that was already ruled out. So it was a question of, is this Jim or is this somebody else? And I think I was initially thinking that it wasn't Jim. I massively struggled to believe that at the time. It wasn't Jim. And I was thinking that this was a prank that he has done, like you just said, Abi. And I could imagine him sitting somewhere in his big mansion with his family and friends, giggling away, taking the mick off the world that's gone wild, talking about him. And I'm like, what a great way to live your life. If I could do something like that, I think I probably would. It sounds so much fun. And it sounds like it's something that Jim would actually do, to be honest with you. Of course, he's a comedian. So it wouldn't surprise me if that were the case. And I really, really wish that's the case. I hope he's getting a really good laugh out of this whole situation. However, over the last week, as I've looked more into it, I think I've definitely started to believe more that it actually is Jim. I definitely went through a stage of believing that it was, have you heard, Abby, about Alexis Stone? Somebody who impersonates celebrities. Yeah, that's it. And there was a picture floating around on social media of a mask, and Alexis claiming that was, Jim's face, and that they were the one that was impersonating Jim. Now, initially, I believed that because I really struggled to look at the photos and say, yes, that's absolutely Jim. There was just something seemed off. And I think I was quite shocked. Like most people, I think that's part of the problem, isn't it? That people have looked and gone, oh my goodness, this person does not look like the Jim that we've all grown up with. And of course, when you are faced with something like that, your brain tries to fill in the blanks and you want to know what's happened. And I think because Jim has been so open previously about hating Hollywood, and he's kind of given all these signs that there is this wider thing happening. He's previously said things like, there is no me, or if I come back without a beard, then it's not me, they got me. So he's kind of left these little hints over the years that something could happen.
Yeah.
So, of course, people have been doing those analyses, haven't they?
Yeah.
Whereas actually with the whole Alexis Stone mask thing, I think that that's now being claimed to be an AI image. And there is no actual evidence that Jim and Alexis actually worked together and agreed on this. That's not been said publicly. So I've kind of ruled that out at the moment. So I have now kind of reached the conclusion myself that Jim probably has had some work done on his face.
Yep.
Now, people are saying, why would he do that? Why would Jim do that when he's been so against it all these years and said very publicly, I would never have any work done? And then people are also saying that his face is obviously a massive part of his acting and his character. And if you've now done work to your face, you're not going to be able to make the same facial expressions, and you look so different. You're not the same person anymore. Whereas I think we need to remind ourselves that Jim has retired. Are his facial expressions as necessary?
No, exactly.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
No. So, yeah, I completely agree with you. I think if he was still like at the peak of his acting career, and with the fact that he's always had these strong opinions on having the Botox and things like that, then absolutely. But I also think it's really important to remember, like, I had opinions on things 10 years ago that I don't think now. Things changed. Like, I've always been someone that's really against the idea of people getting work done. And actually, when I'm really aging and I start to feel really shit about myself because of aging, and if I feel like I have the money and the means to just have a couple of injections into my face to make me feel better, then I may potentially be up for that in the future. So I think it's really unfair to hold somebody against comments that they've made in their past when like their life is constantly changing. The whole using that as clear evidence of he's always been against having plastic surgery. Yeah. That's a bit of a reach when he could change his mind. Like, he's aging now. And I don't know if you've ever looked at Jim Carrey's face, but as he got older, like, his eyelids would start to sag a little bit. And actually, that's a really, like, having them lifted, which I think he's had done, is a really common thing for people to do, celebrity or not, because it can actually hinder your vision. Yeah. So there's this, it's not a strong enough evidence to believe that there was a fucking clone.
No, there's that. And the other thing that makes me really sad is, if this is Jim, and I do believe it is, people are constantly commenting now on his appearance and kind of mocking the way that he's looking. And people are saying things like, if that were me, if I'd had that work done and I looked like that, I'd be suing my surgeon. This is a human being that we're talking about. Again, people are commenting on somebody's appearance. And what I really hope, obviously not knowing Jim personally, but I really hope that he's resilient enough to just laugh at all of this and think the world's gone mad. I just don't want him to feel bad about himself. The other thing that people were saying was around the signature. If you watch the interview that he was writing with his right hand, and people were saying, oh, he's not right-handed. Look at other interviews and he uses his left hand. And I'm like, yes, but if you actually do your proper research, guys, you will find out that he can actually write with both hands. So he can basically pick and choose. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if he knows this and if he did that on purpose to get people to start talking, because, he's funny like that.
Exactly. Like, people could be ambidextrous, guys. Back in the days, people would be accused of being worshipping the devil because they were left-handed. So a lot of people who are left-handed of a certain age can also write with their right hand. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. And I just think if this ends up being something that is a big, massive, grand old prank, then that would be absolutely incredible. And he would have pulled that off so well. However, I just don't feel like there's enough there. Like, if you look at his face, this is the one thing that me and Hayley, I remember we were sat on the train going back to the airport and we were both just like, you were there looking on your phone, you were like, that's not him. That's not him. No, that's not him. That's a completely different face. That's not even him. And I remember seeing that we were like, there is Hayley. I said, look at the teeth. Like, the lips are exactly the same. I was like, the eyes are slightly different color, I think. I said, but different lighting. And I was like, that's clearly his face. It's just a face that's had some work done to it. I think if he turns around and says, yeah, actually, this Alexis thing is correct, or he hired an actor, I would want to know who this actor was to get such incredibly close facial features to him. And something that I see as well that I might put up on the screen as well, like who is appearing. I'll do like a side by side. Is like so many people are finding like pictures of him from the past, pictures of him from the present, and they're like circling parts to be like, this is different, this is different. But actually what they're doing is they're proving that it is him, because when you look at the bits that are circled, they're actually the same, they're matched up.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
I've seen that. And again, we need to remember that people age, so people's facial expressions and facial features will absolutely change with time anyway.
Yeah.
And I've not seen anything that's so different that I would agree that it's a different person at this stage. The fact that people have gone, he's a clone.
Yeah.
That's what people's automatic thoughts go to. I find that, quite funny.
I don't know who started the whole clone fucking theory. I have no clue, but like, it needs to stop, guys. Like, come on, use your common sense. It's entertaining, I know, but come up with something better than just clones. Like, every time something happens and it's not quite like the normal thing, or they don't quite look the same, or they act different, oh, it's a clone. That's a clone, that is. That's obviously a clone.
That man's an imposter. That man is the imposter.
I was going to say, I don't know if you can remember. Do you remember S Club 7?
Also, I remember I went to one of their concerts as a child.
I did. I was so jealous. I never got to go see them. They were my favourite band when I was growing up, probably for most millennials, to be honest, who partied in the 90s. I say that, I was a kid in the 90s, but you know what I mean. So they had a movie called Seeing Double, and basically what happened is the band find out that the whole band has been cloned. Right. And they're going out there and they're making money, and they're making them do like, I can't remember the story exactly. Like, sorry, people, if you can remember this, I'm butchering the plot. But they basically have been cloned so they can then get more money and make more money for like all the teams. But what's significant about the clones is that they do not have belly buttons.
Them. Oh. They haven't got any belly buttons. John, she's right. Look.
They don't have belly buttons, and so that's how you know they're the
fascinating.
cloned version. So when S Club 7, the real versions, and the clones get together, because, you know, not to spoil or anything, but they do end up merging and becoming like a group, they can tell each other apart because they have to check if the clone's got a belly button or not. And if there's a belly button, then be like, oh, good, you're the real version of you. Okay. So I feel like if this is a thing, if we're going to believe in clones, we can believe something as ridiculous as the fact that maybe these clones don't have belly buttons. So maybe what we need to do is, if Jim Carrey is out there on the red carpet again in the future and we're all like, oh, that's the clone version of him, that's not my Jim, we'll be like, show us your belly button, get your belly button out. And then they have to show it. And if it's his belly button there, we'll go, all right, fair, that's Jim Carrey. Yeah. And then that's Selena Gomez, and that's Avril Lavigne, and that's all of them. Just get them to show us their belly
So
buttons.
just walk around to get everyone to show each other their belly buttons. On that note, Abby, I am going to bring us to our favourite part of our episodes, which is where we ask Bob, our ChatGPT, a question that relates to the topic we have been discussing. So today we're going to be asking my Bob, what are the chances that celebrities are actually being cloned and replaced? What do you think?
Oh,
what do you think
gosh.
Bob's going to say?
He's going to say absolutely fucking not. Why are you asking me this, you absolute idiot?
Bob's answer is extremely close to 0.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Human cloning has never successfully been achieved. The closest science has been cloning animals like Dolly the sheep in the 1990s, and even that took hundreds of failed attempts. Even if human cloning were possible, a clone wouldn't be a ready-made adult replacement. Thank you, Bob. It would start life as a baby and grow up like any other person. They wouldn't have the same memories, personality, voice, or life experiences. So the idea that someone could secretly clone a celebrity and spot them out without anyone noticing is not scientifically plausible. It makes a great internet story, but biologically, it doesn't hold up. So, on that note, everyone, Jim is Jim, and unfortunately, Abby, we can't clone ourselves to do the boring aspects of our roles. I'm very sorry. We're going to have to continue living life just as you and me.
Yeah, that's fine. I've come to terms with that. That's absolutely fine. I don't really want to have hundreds of failed attempts either. Although you just know, Hayley, that there are going to be conspiracy theorists who happen to listen to this that are going to hold on to that extremely close to 0. They're going to hear, but not impossible.